Do we need the theory before the practical, or do we need the practical before the theory? That's a pertinent question that a lot of players have asked themselves. There has been table discussion about what is better, the theory or the practical. Now, you do have some players that are very good at practically playing the game, and there's some players that are theoretically good at the game. And I kind of went on a quest where I wanted to kind of be the one in the middle, where I have very good theory and I have very good practical application. Now, in this particular rack here that I'm going to be sharing with you, and of course in hindsight, in an ideal world, as a pool player, aspiring pro pool player, just playing pool, the ideal world, you would like to break and run every single time, but it's not going to be that case because there's too many variables at play here. And so of course the primary variable here is getting a rock solid break and good spread and an opening shot. But the question still lies that when the rack lays tough, when you get a really bad kick or a bad roll or something prevents you from getting an clean opening shot, how do you think out the rack here? And I'm going to be walking you through this beautiful rack of 9 ball that I was playing with the Ghost here. Now let's have a look at the replay on that break. That was beautiful there. Really nice control on the cue ball. Was a little fast with my forward stroke on that break, so that kind of allowed my cue ball to kind of kick up towards the short rail there. I had quite a bit of topspin on that as well, and so of course without control on the cue ball on the break, you're not going to be able to predict where the lowest numbered ball is going to go. But here I'm left with a really tough start, and what you're getting here, guys, in this video is the practical application before I show you the theory. And this is the approach that I want to take to my game. I want you guys to really understand that everything that I teach you on my channel, I apply it in the real game. Now this shot that I'm going to be executing here is one that I've been working on for the past 2 weeks, and it is understanding how the professional players play thin safeties, how they which section of the ball, which part of the ball, how much of the ball do they need to hit to get the cue ball to go into a specific area. Now here's what I'm looking at, guys. For this, I don't want to call a push out, and when I'm playing, I'm thinking like I'm playing for the Gores. I'm thinking like I'm playing Albion Ocean here. I'm thinking here that I need to try to get the cue ball hooked somewhere. I know that there's a bundle of balls down there that I can use as blockers, but I need to find a safe area for my cue ball here, and I'm going to be hitting a certain fraction of this cue ball. I'll show you that in another tutorial here, how much of the object ball to hit. But watch this shot here, very thin, and watch the trajectory of the cue ball floating into that intended safe zone here, hitting there about that's about a half ball, and just floating around the angle. And notice how I kind of use the object balls down there to kind of hold. Now I didn't have enough speed on that, so I did in fact leave my opponent with an opening shot, and I in fact here left him a little bit tough. So depending on the skill level of your opponent, I'm thinking I'm playing Albion Ocean, I'm thinking I'm playing Shane Van Boening. What would they do? They would obviously go on the offense here. Now I did take a gamble on this spot here, and the outcome that you're going to see here was not intended. I got very fortunate. Let's see if we can get a look back at that replay there. I knew that I could pot the one, but I wasn't able to control how it's going to hit into the 4 ball. but I hit the 4 ball on the right side coming up and bumped the 7, and here comes the 4 ball floating, but it just held up here and just gave me a small window here to pot 2. So that was a huge gamble on that rack. If this was a money game and it wasn't a practice session, would have come a little bit close to really throwing away this game here. Now this rack is still very tough because you can see that I'm looking at the 5 ball, or I'm looking at the 5-8 combo here. Now I have a really nice pot here on 2, but I did mess up here. Have a look at what I did here. I tried to pot the 2 and it just grazed the 3, which literally now makes this rack tougher than it's supposed to be. That little nudge there on the 3 put the 3 into a very tricky position for me to play position back onto the 4. So that there definitely is not a good outcome. Now I did show a little bit of emotion, and that is something that I really do not like doing. Bad things happen, deal with it, but we're human being. I'm a human being. Of course I'm going to show a little bit of emotions there, but you definitely don't want to have to do it. You just want to get into the game and try to figure out a solution to the problem or the predicament that you're in. Now I tried here to use a little bit of inside spin. I got a bit fortunate here. In fact, I got really good because the 5-8 combo was tricky and the 6-ball allowed the cue ball to hold position for the 4, so that was really nice. But now the 6-ball here, I don't know which one is more difficult, a triple combination or a double combination. I was thinking about the 5-8, but now I'm gonna have to play a 5-6-8 combo. So just roll through this 4, come back to the middle of the table here, and I've already checked the angle on what I wanted. I'm just gonna recheck here and just double check how much of the 5-ball should I cut into the 6-ball so it can cut the 8-ball into the pocket. This is a tricky pot here, really tricky, and I have to still remember that I need to maintain control here on the 5. So it's gonna be interesting to see what actually came out of this. I'll be very disappointed if I miss this pot. It's not a difficult pot, it just requires really precise aiming on the object ball here. Now I'm not a really big fan of combinations, but I play them if I have to. But this one is tough, real tough here. Let's see what happens here. 5-6-8. Ooh, just missing, just barely missing that 8-ball there. And you can see, just because I had to maintain control on the 5, that's what made the shot even a bit more trickier here. Now this is an absolutely brilliant positional play here, and I took the time out to really break down the thought process that I was going through here. Now here I have a thin kind of cut here on the 5, and the 6-ball is in the middle of the table here, and you're gonna notice what I do here. This is a game changer. When I discovered how to do this and when to do it, it really kind of gave me a little bit more subconscious thought about the game, in terms of, instead of using so many math, I want to use more feel. I want to use a bit more calculations to have a reference point of aiming. But notice here where I give you a freeze frame of my shaft pointing in the path that I want the cue ball to travel. And if you think that this shot was a lucky shot, think again. I'm going to give you an overlay replay here. Here I'm going to pot the 5 and just a hair of left spin, just enough the right speed. It floats into the line of the 6 for the side pocket, and that is again the principle of positional play that was showed to me on Dr. Dave Billiards YouTube channel here. Watch the overlay replay here. It went exactly into the predicted part here, and that was a beautiful shot there on that 5. Now, still not out of the woods. You're gonna get chances like this where your opponent gives you a half a chance and you have to make do with it here. Now Tricky part here on the 6 because I have to negotiate where on the 7 I need to hit and at what speed I need to hit it at, because I don't want it to end up on the short rail and I don't want to hit it too full and end up on the wrong side of the 7 here. But this was beautifully executed, right speed, hitting the right section of the 7 ball and just landing perfectly here with the right angle to come around behind the 8. Now notice there again that visualization technique there where I know I want to come behind the 8 2 rails, but this was a naughty shot here, guys. I this felt so good when I pocket the 7 and notice here beautifully swinging around the angles and coming into the line of position for the 8. And I cannot even believe, guys, that since watching Dr. Dave video, I find that these shots are coming up a lot in my game. You would have seen my previous videos. I've been playing into the line of the shot from behind quite a bit here, so I definitely see growth here in my game. Now beautifully here, draw shot, come up back for the 9. But here's what I want you guys to remember, and I've seen a lot of amateur players do this. Here's how I pop the 9. I pop the 9 and I go 2 cushions back to the middle of the table. So I have a set speed that allows the cue ball to go into the middle of the table. And I also just have to verify the cut angle here. You don't want to pocket that ball and go 1 rail and it may scratch into the side and you may consider yourself being unlucky there. So I really do hope that you enjoyed that video, guys. I enjoyed editing and commentating on this video. And if you've learned something valuable from that rack, please hit the subscribe button below, turn on your post notification bell, and I will see you in the next video, guys, where we continue to practice to build our game with precision, accuracy, consistency, and control. Until next time, take care, see you, bye bye.